I know that ATTA really wants to talk about kind of booking fees in the travel industry. And so, Vika, feel free to ask me questions along the way if if something comes to mind. But I know for me as the founder of YouLi and as an avid traveler who loves to spend a lot of time finding good prices for things, I'm always interested in booking direct with operators and hotels and experience providers because I know that that means that money goes direct to them. And I know that OTAs and other big aggregators provide value in helping bring travelers to those operators who wouldn't normally have gotten those customers. And I think that's obviously a valuable thing in the industry. But it's something that we should recognize that we don't want that to be the only way that travelers find these experiences. And we should be very supportive of the travel community in building loyalty directly with their travelers. So we need to make it possible that, yeah, some number of your leads comes from these OTAs or sort of booking aggregation systems where a commission is taken, or even from travel agents where a commission is taken, but that once operators get to a certain level of, they've been around for a while, they've developed a reputation, they should be able to very easily pay a flat fee and take bookings direct from travelers without having to pay a really large commission to a platform who, is basically just selling to the same loyal customer and hasn't actually, brought the new value. So that's why the YouLi platform actually has a sort of tiered model. So when you get started, you can put trips up and you pay a commission based on whether or not someone books through, and you don't pay a flat fee, but you do pay a booking fee if a booking comes in. And we're working on building out more and more networks so that those trips can get in front of more and more travelers and agents. And we're also excited to be working on an affiliate network so that travel agents can request to sell those experiences. So establishing a sort of, matchmaking between specialized agents and specialized operators, and then they can negotiate the commission that makes sense for them. And then ultimately, once businesses become large enough or confident enough in managing their own customer loyalty with their CRMs and YouLi, and we integrate tightly with CRMs at this level, we drop our booking fee down to 0%. So that way, you as an operator or as a growing sort of travel retailer don't have to keep paying a huge booking fee just to continuously sell to your existing customer base, because we do know that the most successful operators often are selling to the same loyal customers. And sure, to acquire new ones, paying that 20% might make sense to pick up some additional leads and continue to kind of grow your loyal customer base. But we feel really strongly that the travel retailers and operators should be managing their own CRMs, building their own customer loyalty, and being able to just pay a flat software fee to be able to manage all of that. So that's why YouLi really, really focuses on growing operators and customers of our platform out of the booking fee levels into just a pure flat fee model. So we're really excited to be rolling out new plans this year that'll make that even more clear. And we constantly run events that support our clients to learn how they can grow and focus on their loyal customers and focus on the customer experience, so that instead of it being a one-off transaction through a big OTA, it becomes a lifetime customer that keeps booking in trips every 1 to 2 years. And some of our clients have customers that go with them twice a year. So that, we think, is the best way for the money to stay with the person who's delivering the experience. And we're excited to be part of making it possible to reduce the amount of booking fees that you pay as an operator.
So our main focus here is to talk about ability to scale with the plans that allow you zero booking fees. Are we talking about the direct bank transfers as well? in
That's a
here?
great point. So on our pro plans or our sort of crew starter plans and above, you can actually take payments directly either via PayPal or bank transfer, phone, and other options. So we make it possible for direct payments to bypass the booking fee. So the booking fee is only applied when it's a credit card transaction through Stripe or Square that we process. Now we're not the merchant of records, so that's always going to be our customer that will have that actual credit card merchant account through Stripe or Square. But yeah, we also encourage the use of these alternative methods because, if you're charging $5,000, $10,000 per person on a trip, paying that credit card fee plus a booking fee is just, it's too much. And so that's why on our paid plans, on our premium plans, you can not only manage credit card transactions, but you can also accept bank transfers, and you can even give instructions to mail a check if that's how you want to operate, or a wire transfer. So whatever works for your business to make sure that you're keeping as much of that money in your pocket as possible. Because again, if you have a loyal customer base, like you know that you can hold that spot because they're going to transfer that money. And on the YouLi platform, it just marks it as pending. And then once you receive the money, then you confirm it, and then it'll automatically update their invoice to show that the payments come through. So we just make it really easy to manage alternative ways to get paid to reduce the booking fees that you pay. And this gets really important the more expensive your trips get.
Jen, are there other platforms that who follow your business model? Maybe.
There are platforms that that are sort of itinerary only that don't charge booking fees, but basically most of the platforms that do enable payments are taking booking fees, and of course it depends on how much traffic they drive to your pages. But we feel very strongly that we're focused on the kinds of businesses that want to build their own loyal audience. They want to do their own direct marketing, and they want to be less dependent on an external source of leads and more focused on just having tools that make it easy for them to convert direct customers from social or from various channels that they might have, or even from travel agent relationships that they have.
And what if I just build a website and with the e-commerce capability,
Mhm.
wouldn't that just solve my problem of paying the booking fee?
Yeah, and certainly if you feel that the customer experience that can be delivered using a sort of just off-the-shelf e-commerce kind of product, like a Shopify or a WooCommerce kind of thing, uh, that can get you what you need. Although sometimes those do also have booking fees associated with them, so you do need to watch out for that and make sure that that's actually going to save you money. But recognizing that the difference between those kinds of solutions and YouLi is that those platforms they're transactional. So it's like, it's just an invoice, it's just a checkout process. Whereas with YouLi, it's all integrated into the one place. So if they change their itinerary 3 months before the trip because they add on the hot air balloon, it's in the same place. So they see their itinerary, you can upsell them in context, and then it updates their invoice right there. And then they can check out, and that's sort of this continuous experience because they're constantly being driven back to the trip page to complete their passport information, to check on changes to the itinerary, to see who else is going, these kinds of things. So it's more of a customer experience over the 6 to 12 months between when they book and when they actually travel that gives you an opportunity to upsell them. Whereas with a checkout process, it's sort of like it's done, right? And getting them back into that funnel again can be a bit disjointed. And if you're emailing them an itinerary separately from their invoice, they can kind of lose track of that. Whereas with YouLi, it's just the one trip page that has all of those different elements, and they're all interacting with each other so that the customer doesn't get so confused that they miss an opportunity for an upsell. So that to me is one of the big reasons you would choose not to use one of those off-the-shelf e-commerce solutions. is just because the YouLi platform is built for multi-day tours, and for the fact that it's not a one-off transaction. It's you know, you have to pay your deposit, and then you pay installments, and then you add an add-on, and your price changes, and then you add on your friend who decided to come. And you know, the YouLi system is designed to handle all that change that inevitably happens, and it's still a seamless customer experience.
Thank you. I think that's good. I think that's more than the blog. The only thing is ATT, if we purpose the blog for us, that's good. If we purpose it for ATTA, they're asking for more educational content. So this probably needs to be kind of, yeah, readjusted.
Yep. Okay. So educational content, then I think what you were pulling, that thread you were pulling on around e-commerce, I think we could build that out a little bit more, and sort of say, you know, here's what it looks like if you do e-commerce. Here's what it looks like if you do like a WeTravel. Here's what it looks like if you do a YouLi. You know, like actually educating what the differences are of these different options. Like build it yourself, build it through Shopify, embed WeTravel, embed Resd, embed YouLi. Like, you know, what's the difference between embedding versus having a custom site built? You know, like we could educate on that.
So we could potentially say there are several ways where you can avoid paying booking fees, right? So one of
Yeah.
them would be direct payments.
Yeah.
A second way would be, for example, e-commerce site, right? And this is how it would look like. The third payment would be the travel specialized software, right?
Yeah, and I guess, I mean, debating how broad an educational piece this could be, but we could also educate on, you know, booking fees and credit card, avoiding booking fees and credit card fees, because they're not the same. Now, sometimes they're lumped together. Some platforms don't distinguish between booking and credit card fees.
Should we even go into credit card fees? Or just say you just can't avoid it. If you take credit cards, you get to
Well,
pay.
but direct payments avoid credit card fees, and so this could be a key differentiator for us, because you know, a lot of systems that allow you to do that will even take a percentage of a direct payment because they process the direct payment. Whereas we just give you the ability to give instructions, and so we help you kind of avoid even a 1% fee on that. I mean, you could even do, and we've had people do like have Venmo instructions, right? Like, you know, there's whatever, I don't know what the Venmo fees are, but so we could sort of talk about thinking beyond credit cards, maybe, and because I don't think other platforms have nearly the same number of options that we do, and we could really emphasize that.
Yep.
And an e-commerce platform will generally be focused on credit cards as its primary mechanism. And although, I mean, more and more there are other options within that context. Like some e-commerce platforms will accept Bitcoin and things like that. But I think we do need to sort of touch on credit card fees a little bit, and especially if we're doing an educational piece, I think articulating like what's a credit card fee, what's a booking fee, why are they sometimes mixed, and how can you avoid both?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. No, I think that's, yeah, that could be, it could be blog turn webinar kind of thing. It's definitely not for the webinar.
Well, and in terms of, is this a written thing or is this a demonstration thing? Like, is it a video or is it a blog?
Well, the conversation was, we offered them, and they didn't come back with the answer yet, but we offered them those are the possibilities we can do. We can do a webinar, we can do a blog, we can do a thing, right? So we decided they didn't come back yet. I have the conversation with them this week, I believe. It's scheduled. but you probably won't be honest because it's my morning.
Okay.
Um, but so I'm pretty much telling them that this is the process we are going through in terms of rebranding, and we are going to add the booking fees to our plans because of the industry standard, and that's the journey that we are
Mm.
going on. We don't want to do that.
Well, okay, yeah. So that was the other thing that we had talked about, that you know, we started YouLi trying to completely avoid booking fees, and that was something that I believe really strongly, that we shouldn't be taking a booking fee. We should just be charging a flat fee to use our software, because it's fixed cost for us. And so, um, operators are working on relatively slim margins. It's a really unstable industry. If we want these amazing experiences to happen, we need to support people in creating those. But then what we found is that a lot of the people who are most in need of that are actually the ones who are not in a position to commit to a flat software fee. So we actually found that the industry just demands that at the low end, for people who aren't running a lot of experiences, they need it to be a percentage of bookings. They can't have it be a fixed cost yet. And so while that is the right way to scale, it's not the right way to start. And so that's why we're recognizing this and changing our plans so that complete entry level Explorer packages are going to be pure commission, like 100% booking fees, so no flat fee. And then there'll be a pro plan, which is a flat fee and a reduced booking fee. And then there'll be scaling enterprise packages that allow people to grow into a 0% booking fee. And even
Explain me
within
this.
that, sorry?
Sorry, explain me this again. The smaller businesses who we were aiming for initially, right? Who were planning to do the, the scalable flat rate fees, are not ready to invest up front
Right.
into the software. That's why they're considering that percentage of the revenue is easier to be paid than the upfront investment,
So,
especially when the focus on
it's that challenge of being at a stage where your cash flow is not consistent yet. And so committing to a $60 a month software package, while that might be the right financial decision in a sort of end of year tax kind of assessment way, if you don't even know if that retreat's going to run, if you don't even know if that experience is going to get booked out, then that $60 feels like too much to pay. Whereas if you're doing it based on, if I get a booking, then I'll pay a percentage, that
Mhm.
feels like a commitment that's easier to make.
It's a
And so,
managed risk.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's a managing of risk rather than managing of costs. And so recognizing that different businesses are at different stages of their business maturity. And so when they're getting started, they need to manage cash flow. And so they don't want to make a fixed cash flow commitment. But then once they get to a certain scale, they realize that even paying 1% of bookings just doesn't make any sense, because especially if they're the ones driving the business to the software, if they're the ones doing all the marketing costs, right? That being said, of course, we're also working with marketplace partners to generate leads, and making sure that we can also offer lead generation to our customers if they want to pay for it. So if they do want to pay 15-20% to acquire a booking, that's something that we want to support them with. But we recognize that most of our customers are actually building a loyal customer base, and they're the ones who are doing the direct marketing. So it doesn't make sense for them to be paying, a large commission, when it's really just the software converting the lead that's been brought by the operator. And this is especially true in like student group travel. A lot of adventure travel tends to be quite loyal, and the kind of niche travel businesses that we work with often build a very loyal customer base within their specialty. So, and a lot of the clients we've talked to, they're not worried when travel reopens. They're going to be booked out for the next year, so they're not worried about the leads. And so, if we're not the ones bringing the leads, then we shouldn't be charging huge commissions. And so really it's just about balancing, my belief that as much of the money as possible should go to these unique operators as possible, operators and travel retailers that are creating these experiences. But ultimately, we have to realize that the market is, has a commission model for a reason. And that's because not everyone's in a cash flow position to commit to a monthly or annual software fee.
Mm.
I have to jump off, but I hope
Yep.
that gives you enough. So this is recorded in this channel. So feel free to reference this. Oh, you know what? I forgot to turn on this feature. We should use this more often. Live captioning. Can you see this?
Oh,
So
where
now
is the
I'm
feature?
talking and it should be writing what I'm saying.
No.
Can you see it?
No, there's nothing writing.
Oh, I see it.
You
That's so
do?
fun.
Still have captioning for yourself?
Yeah, I see
Is it
I see,
writing somewhere in
yeah.
the chat?
That's really weird. No, it's inside the screen.
No, it's not.
You see, are you looking at my video?
Yeah, I'm looking at you.
And you don't see words below me? There should be like a bar underneath. Oh, maybe you have to turn on captioning. Maybe that doesn't turn it on for everyone. Can you click the 3 dots and scroll down to turn on live captions?
Yeah, say something.
Hello. Can you see it
Yeah,
now?
no, I got it.
But maybe that doesn't save in the recording.
Well, it doesn't capture anywhere.
Damn it. Anyway, all right. Well, some things to play with, but because there are ways of getting the audio out of these video recordings and transcripting. So Microsoft has a lot of like voice recognition stuff that we should be trying to leverage as much as possible. But I will leave you with that, and I got to jump off. So
Thanks,
good to connect, and hopefully you can join in an hour with Eleanor.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you.